Mariners, Blue Jays. Mariners took both of the first two games in Toronto. Talk about momentum on their side, right? Absolutely a big step in the right direction for them. Now, can they do it today? They do have George Kirby on the mound. He's going up against Shane Bieber. Kind of want to start with Kirby and then we'll move into Shane Bieber. Kirby, in terms of how he's looked pretty good in that game against Detroit, right? Actually, both games against Detroit, we could say 5 innings pitched, 2 earned, 8 strikeouts in one of them, 1 earned, 6 strikeouts in the other. They won one of those games, and it was obviously a crucial one there, that last game that he pitched back on the 10th of October. He doesn't have the best track record, I would say, against this Toronto squad. I mean, he hasn't pitched against them in a year or so, but still, numbers are worth noting. Him against Toronto, this actual lineup, right? Not just the team. 68 plate appearances against, only a 16.2% K rate, 1.5% walk rate, which we just expect from Kirby, right? But a 281 average against and a 315 WOBA. Those numbers also jump from an expected standpoint. 298 expected batting average and an expected WOBA of 350, expected slugging of 470. So not exactly like phenomenal, but it's still George freaking Kirby. We can expect him to pitch fairly well because he is a really good pitcher, right? Now, Shane Bieber, on the other hand, 2 2/3 against the Yankees in his last start, 5 hits, 3 runs came in, 2 of them earned, just 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 54 pitches through that stretch. Not exactly the best, right? And in fact, he's allowed 2 or more runs in his last 3 starts. Now, the 2 before that, he pitched a little bit better, right? And pitched a little bit deeper. You have to date back a couple of years, but he has some really good numbers. One, against this Mariners team as a team, and secondarily against the actual lineup, the guys that make up the lineup. So, for example, Josh Naylor when he was with the Diamondbacks and that type of thing, right? But the last 3 games, 0.3 ERA against. He's pitching into the 7th inning on average, averaging over 7 strikeouts per game. Flip it over to the actual lineup, right? The guys that comprise of the lineup, 116 in terms of plate appearance against, nearly a 40% K rate, a 4.3% walk rate, an average against of 229. It drops to a 215 expected batting average against, a WOBA of 241, expected WOBA of 247, and an X slugging of 299. I think Shane Bieber can pitch really well. For that matter, I do think George Kirby can pitch really well here. So I think that we could see some runs late here. So I would shrink this game and trust the pitchers for less innings. First 5, first 3 unders. And I would honestly be pretty confident in that. I wouldn't be surprised if we roll with both of those today.